Thank you so much for staying with us. Now it's time for us to take a look at what our national dailies are saying, and we start with the Weekend Trust. The major story there says 39 billion ICC cost can build 312 health centers, 1,200 classrooms. I mean, 39 billion naira is what we're talking about. Definitely. I mean, it can even, revamp the refineries that we have. It's not just, building classrooms or even healthcare centers at this point. I mean, just to renovate the ICC, which I feel is not really a priority as far as I'm concerned, even though I know that's where, most of the events are being held in the International Conference Center, which definitely we're going to be talking about later.
Of course.
That has changed, we need to hear from people what they think about the amount that is spent. And then the naming of the ICC also, which, it has been criticized. People criticized a wiki, and, a lot of politicians came out to say why.
I think the ICC isn't...
Activists also.
Fatima, the ICC isn't bad. It's not the ICC we always go to for events. It's not that. There's nothing to renovate about. I think
it needs revamping.
But not as much as this money. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Do you know the money, the cost of the revamping is even higher than the building? How much did they build it? It's way lesser than.
Imagine if in Nigeria, it's saying that 39 billion can build 312 healthcare centers, health centers. Yeah. Don't forget, even if it's the primary healthcare we are talking about in states or communities,
but not 50, 312
classrooms. Exactly. Also classrooms. Don't forget the 312 one side, and then it can also build 1,200 classrooms.
1,200 classrooms.
Imagine the number of children that would have had the chance to go to school. I mean, even without paying school fees, that would have been the most nicest thing that this government would have done. To look at the families that cannot afford it. Just make sure they have school at least to go to, so that they can have the education that they deserve in a country where they have the right to, demand for education from their government.
Simply misplaced priorities, I
mean, the system keeps failing.
That's it.
It keeps failing.
There's no sugarcoating, no two ways about it.
Yeah.
Let's call a spade a spade. These are very misplaced priorities. I don't really, sometimes you don't even understand what's happening in Nigeria. You keep asking yourself what is really happening.
Well, you can go through page 4 for more details. I mean, you can see a breakdown of the sum, how it was spent. If you can see it clearly there. If not, if you can take a look at, the Weekend Trust, so you can go through it. But then I can just randomly read out to you. Like we said, 1,200 classrooms. And then it can also, build up to 600 blocks of 2 classrooms, not just, classrooms. It can also, the ICC renovation cost can fund the construction of 312 new PHC, like we said, primary healthcare centers. There are communities that don't have good roads. I mean, I saw a video of President Traore talking about how Africa is blessed and how we've been, cheated of our wealth. And we keep saying that Africa is, we would have been the most developed country by now. With the kind of wealth
we have everything it takes to become that.
Yes. Each continent has one thing or the other. It's either gold, uranium, diamonds, petroleum, the crude that we have. I mean, that Africa is blessed with natural resources and minerals at this point, and yet we keep with someone said
corruption.
Yeah, someone said colonialism is still going on. It changed a shape. It's not like we are still slaves. They're still working for the people out there. They still come in, take our monies and what would have been for us, and then they will send us back. Traore spoke intense, and I know what he said in his speech actually shook the whole world, not just Africa or any part of the world that needs to know. Well, you can go through page 4 for more details. And then Benue killings, communities, leaders speak out. I mean, it's high time. It's not just about speaking out. I think at this point it's about finding ways to protect yourselves and your loved ones, because sometimes if you keep waiting for the government to do something, they won't. at this point. And, you know, we keep protesting and we still don't see the changes. You know, after protesting, we come out in numbers, hungry, we trek from here to there, you know, just trying to let the government hear our cries to say that, oh, this is what we need, this is what, you know, your citizens, your followers need, this is why you're in the office, but then we still don't see anything changing.
That's true.
It's really sad.
Honestly. Go
through page 7 for more details. Caps that shaped Nigeria's political journey. You can find details on page 25. Hundreds of missiles launched as Israel-Iran crisis escalates. Well, you can find
we talked about this earlier.
Yeah, you can find details on page 23 of the Weekend Trust, and then Tony Iradia talking to Mr. Point Blank. I mean, I would love to see what is happening on
Tony Iradia. Oh, wow.
So go through page 9 for more details. World Blood Donor Day. Today is actually World Blood Donor Day. Poor donation, fueling a shortage, and also, you know, recording deaths. I mean, when I was coming out listening to the radio, how they were saying, you know, even when people go to donate blood, it doesn't last them in hospitals, because people are actually falling sick seriously and they need blood a lot of times, and there is no blood.
Fatima, talking about this, there was an incident that happened that really opened my eyes. Do you know people go to the hospital to donate blood willingly, but some hospitals actually keep that blood and sell them?
Yeah, I know about that.
So that's so bad, and this what's happened. I think this has contributed to the shortage of blood.
I don't know if you were the one we had the conversation with, someone saying that, you know, someone wanted to go and donate blood, and they called the person to say, oh yeah, there's someone that needed blood, and the person went back, but someone told him that if you give your blood to that guy, he's going to sell it.
Yes.
You know, he called him to say, oh, we have someone that needed blood, because he went to the hospital to donate. They said they didn't need it. There was no anyone needing blood. So he was like, okay, call me when there's need for it. So someone just overheard and was like, oh, please, can I have your number? There's someone that needs blood actually. So he went, and then they called him later to come and donate, and he came. And then someone there was telling him that that person is going to sell that blood. He's not going. They're not giving it to the person.
So you see, corruption has eaten deep
actually
everywhere.
Everyone is
it's
corrupt
not even in the government.
Point.
You know, everybody is corrupt.
Everyone is corrupt.
Exactly.
But you won't. To an extent, I won't say it's bad, but then the corruption happening in the country is what is making people to be corrupt as well. Because by all means, people are trying to find means to survive.
Exactly.
So even if it means to strip you of your whatever it is that you think you can offer, whether you can offer it or they take it forcefully, they'll take it as far as they can, you know, have what they want, and they can do what they want with it. Well, you can go through page 13 for more details, and please, if you can, go to the hospital today to donate blood. If you know you're healthy, you know, because definitely they need to carry out some tests before they, you know, give your blood to someone. Even if you're not, but you know, if you go to the hospital, they will definitely tell you if your blood is needed or not. You know, if you need blood yourself, they will also tell you at this point. So go through page 13 for more details. FCTA to build new INEC headquarters in Abuja. Now we just talked about
another money about to spend.
The building and revamping, and now they want to build a new INEC. So what happens to the one that they're using now? Are they going to convert it to something else?
Fatima.
Well, let's wait and see what happens at the end. Go through page 15 for more details on that, and that's the much that there is for the Weekend Trust this morning. So
to Saturday Punch. Boldly written in this, Fatima, June 12th, MKO Abiola's family demands 45 billion naira contract debt details.
I mean, I don't think it's bad. As far as
they said family may file claims for money, says presidency.
I mean, after he was denied and the truth came out, after IBB came out to say the truth, what do you expect?
That's so. I really feel sometimes for the family, I think it's high time they demanded something from the government. Their father was
denied the right to become president, even when he won, due to one reason or the other. And then now the truth came out. So what do you expect?
So I really want to read this story too, but you can find this story in page 4 of the Saturday Punch. Then the next headline here is Nigerian men turn the old white brides for love. You know, luxury. That's what's happening right now. Young men from Nigeria marrying white old white women.
Yeah, the truth is, the whites also like the black men, Nigerian men especially. I mean, I saw a video just a couple of days ago how this lady was dressed in African attire and she was making pop and she was saying, "Marry from this place, marry from Nigeria, you get why," and stuff like that. I mean, they are literally becoming Igbos or they are becoming Yorubas. Or they whatever tribe they tend to marry, they want to become like Nigerians.
Do you remember the case of Samuel and Angela?
Obviously, they are still there.
I think they divorced. They're divorced.
Yeah.
But on another hand, Fatima, it's all because of the economy, the harsh economy in Nigeria. These young men are looking for where to get luxury, greener pastures.
But a lot of them
they feel it's easier to get married to white women, get green cards and just leave Nigeria.
Enough, even when they get married to them, the wives also follow them to come down to Nigeria and stay in Nigeria. So it's not about getting green cards or whatever. Sometimes love actually is what is playing out, not just for green card. Yes, we know that for some it's the green card that they want, but for some it's actually true love that makes them to get married.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Then the story, you can find the story in pages 22 and 23 of the Saturday Punch. Outrage as Rivers realtor strips girls celebrating birthday naked. What is this?
Yeah, I saw the story in a club, right? This was something that I picked, but I don't know if we're going to talk about it later.
I had to say, what is this? Because I was trying to assimilate, the story. The
story was they went to a club. One of the ladies actually reserved a seat for her and her friends, and then this particular man came and then just sat on their reserved seat. And then before he could say anything, they broke glasses, bottles, and started beating the ladies. They removed one of the girl's teeth, so you can see it there in the front page, and then the other one, they broke her head. So they were videoing themselves, and they're like, why? The man just said, why are they videoing him? And before he could say anything, they started beating the girl.
Things escalated.
Yeah, and I saw that the police in the state have actually called. The police in Rivers have called the ladies to come in to give their own side of the story, and also the man that the suspect also to come in for them to also carry out an investigation to know what really happened. Which is clubs, so definitely there should be videos, there should be CCTV
and stuff,
so that can actually solve the whole situation. Yeah.
So to go through this story to know what's happening, you go to page 9 of the Punch. I think the last headline we are going to carry here is "My husband rejected my offer of second wife despite 24 years of childlessness, mother of twins." I think this is a testimony, before she gave birth to twins, she was giving a testimony that her husband really rejected her offer. So I think that's the much we can take in the Punch, Fatima.
Yeah, so let's take a look at Guardian this morning. And on Guardian, you can see that road crashes rise amid highway corruption and obsolete equipment. Well, go through page 8 and 9 for more details. Nigeria seeks youth inclusion in climate change actions. I mean, I totally agree with that because, we've seen a lot of organizations trying to do something about that. CGID, strictly, and they are into, climate change actions. Also, Action Aid also to an extent. I mean, I'm just trying to remember, the agencies that are actually doing something about this. Well, at this point, I actually totally agree that youth should be included, not just us fighting for certain things. We need this because, when NIMET come out to say flood in these areas, youth in the axis that they feel it can be affected, they can actually do something. So when they are equipped with the right resources, materials that they need, they can actually help in one or two things. So I think they need to include them in that. Go through page 2 for more details. Editors, Enugu government celebrate Uncle Sam at 90. Go through page 3 for more details on that. First batch of 423 Ocean pilgrims to arrive Nigeria on Saturday. I mean, it's high time.
It's high time,
Hajj has ended. Salah is already 1 week.
So, of course.
So
they start coming back normally after 1 week of performing Hajj.
Yeah, definitely. Go through page 3 for more details. Heroes of June 12, the president forgot. Yeah, there are a lot of names that were not mentioned, but we don't forget them, So definitely go through the Guardian for more details on that. Lagos loses 4 trillion yearly to traffic congestion. I mean, what do you expect?
But what can be done to alleviate traffic congestion in Lagos? Yes, of course. Can they use alternatives?
Build more roads. If you look at what is happening in Abuja, the minister is doing, also other states, when you see how they are demolishing, roadside buildings or shops just to expand so cars can have the space to pass, bikes, motorcycles, tricycles and what have you can have this chance to pass. People can maybe still maybe they can build them a place where they can just have shops there so that they can evacuate people on the roadside. So a lot of things that needs to be done. And even at that, Lagos is actually trying when it comes to building roads, constructing roads. I mean, but then I think that's the major thing that is causing more traffic.
Lagos is a very
and it's already congested.
So no matter what they do,
it's large because people just go
and
there.
People are still relocating to Lagos.
Yeah, because they want to make a living. They feel Lagos is like I think if you remember the last time I said Lagos is like the Los Angeles. Should I say Hollywood? that's where people are going to, because everyone wants to make it in life and they feel Lagos is a center of commerce. So definitely we'll go through page 3 for more details. When clash between New Hotel and Federal Palace Hotel claimed Ahmed Bello's site. Go through page 15 for more details. Mixed reactions trail NUC's directive on accreditation. You can find details on page 4 of the Guardian. Olu of Warri's wife urges Nigerians to adopt Finland's education model. Well, not just Finland. I mean, a lot of countries are doing well when it comes to education. Their model, their framework when it comes to that is actually working for them. Every time I go back to China, because they start teaching their children, even skills.
Yeah, of course.
When they are very young and they grow up. You don't even need the government to start looking back and say, "Oh, I need job," because you grow up, they have everything, Yeah. So go through page 36 for more details, and that's the much that there is for the newspaper review this morning that we have for you. We wish we could, take more, but time is not on our side, and we need to open the phone lines to hear from you on what we said we are going to talk to you about. So let's go on a quick break, and when we return, we open the phone lines and have an interaction with you about the topic that we've chosen for you. Do stay with us.